Ryan Reynolds' latest movie is suffering big time. Now they're playing it like it's Hollywood scheduling problems, which it could be. It could be.
Ryan Reynolds is in full-blown crisis mode after Disney delivered what insiders are calling a career-crippling blow. And just when things couldn't get worse, Animal Friends, his next big swing, has been yanked from the schedule, setting off alarm bells across the industry.
It's hard to not see this as, let's wait a little bit.
Hollywood's once untouchable golden boy is unraveling. The empire he built on charm, quick wit, and viral commercials is buckling under the weight of relentless bad press and one very public stumble after another.
Just can't help but laugh at this. I'm very curious to see what this article is referring to.
Ryan Reynolds, formerly the reigning king of charisma and box office gold, is now careening toward a career freefall so dramatic it's making studio executives sweat and tabloids salivate.
And a pretty smart businessman in him building his brands.
This is the man who could turn anything, movies, gin, cell phones, into solid gold with nothing but a wink and a punchline. Every brand he touched turned to magic. Until now.
How does all the negative attention affect your businesses? Because if you scroll through the comments of this video, whoo, Team Justin all the way.
He was the guy everyone wanted to be. Razor sharp, ridiculously handsome, and business savvy enough to sell you a streaming service with a joke and a grin. But now, that golden glow is dimming. And fast.
Ryan's next movie has suffered a major blow.
He was the guy everyone wanted to be. Razor sharp, ridiculously handsome, and business savvy enough to sell you a streaming service with a joke and a grin. But now, that golden glow is dimming. And fast.
May 1st was supposed to be the release of Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, but now that pick's been moved to December, and honestly, that one makes sense.
Let's call it what it is. When Ryan Reynolds' tentpole project gets hit with a delay, it's not some indie hiccup. It's a 5-alarm Hollywood emergency, complete with PR panic and media frenzy. This isn't just a pushback, it's a red flag waving from the top of a crumbling empire.
I couldn't believe they were going to make that date, so I'm not surprised they pushed Doomsday.
This wasn't supposed to be a speed bump, it was meant to be the blockbuster. A headline-grabbing, budget-busting spectacle designed to lock Ryan Reynolds' status as Hollywood royalty. Instead,
playing it like it's Hollywood scheduling problems, which it could be. It could be. But his upcoming movie has been delayed a staggering 7 months.
The whispers started almost immediately. Scheduling conflicts, the official line claimed. Sure. In Hollywood speak, that's code for, there's a dumpster fire backstage and everyone's scrambling to grab a hose. Reynolds, once the guy with the Midas touch, is suddenly giving off the faint whiff of a liability. Studios are watching, and make no mistake, they're taking notes.
The Animal Friends R-rated combo, live-action animated combo, starring Reynolds was previously slated for this fall, October. However, Warner Brothers and Legendary have now postponed it to May. Now that would be 2 months after the trial, so...
And just when you thought the delay was the worst of it, surprise. The murmurs have reached a full-blown industry crescendo. Disney, the happiest place on earth, is reportedly ready to cut him loose.
But Animal Friends, I don't know. There could be problems with the movie, who knows? But I find it hard to believe it wouldn't also be somewhat involved with this drama.
Yes, that Disney. The empire that crowned him as the snarky, fourth-wall-breaking anti-hero is now quietly labeling him too risky, too loud, too dramatic, too much baggage. In short, not their brand anymore.
It's just a quiet drift. That's still a bad thing.
Picture it. A Disney boardroom filled with suits and soy lattes, staring at budget overruns and a growing stack of PR disasters. One of them finally sighs and says, "Is Ryan Reynolds still worth it?" The alleged answer? A resounding no. Word. The Mouse House is planning to freeze him out of future family-friendly deals. From Golden Boy to Persona non grata, faster than you can say Pixar sequel.
Ryan Reynolds' latest movie is suffering big time. Meanwhile, Blake Lively is making a revenge girl squad?
But here's the real plot twist. This spiral isn't just a solo act. The scandal dragging Reynolds into the mud is being turbocharged by none other than his partner in crime, or chaos, Blake Lively. Yes, Blake, America's former sweetheart. Now starring in a lawsuit so tangled and toxic it's sending shockwaves through Tinseltown.
Sources inside, deep inside, saying Divorce is gonna come in a couple years.
Once the envy of Hollywood, the couple that made red carpets look like fairy tales, Ryan and Blake are now late-night punchlines. That Instagram-perfect love story? Cracked. The curated glam? Fading. The fans? Oh, they've turned. The same. Public that once worshipped them is now watching with popcorn in hand as the pedestal starts to crumble.
Like, this is not good for your brand, brother. This is not worth it.
Blake's legal firestorm isn't just her mess, it's splattering all over Ryan too. Because in Hollywood, guilt by association isn't a theory, it's a blood sport. The lawsuit, with its spiraling allegations and courtroom theatrics, is overshadowing everything else. The public has made up its mind. The fairy tale couple was just a PR fantasy. And now Ryan's golden boy glow is circling the drain faster than you can say image rehab.
But now you can't even post an Instagram post without leaving the comments on. You have to turn them off.
And the insult to injury? Ryan Reynolds, the man who could sell tap water as a life-altering experience, is suddenly scrambling for relevance in the same headlines that once crowned him king. But those headlines? Brutal. Tarnished. Embattled. Overexposed. It's not just bad press. It's a full-blown narrative collapse, and the shock is real.
Reynolds stars in the film along with Aubrey Plaza, Jason Momoa, Addison Rae, Eric Andre, Dan Levy, Rob Delaney again from Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, this was the information. It was previously listed.
Even social media, once his most loyal hype machine, has flipped. The same fans who used to flood his comments with flame emojis are now asking the hard questions. Was it all an act? Were Ryan and Blake just another sponsored couple with matching PR teams and influencer tier polish? The betrayal? Palpable. And it's hitting harder than a 1-star Rotten Tomatoes review.
However, Warner Brothers and Legendary have now postponed it to May. Now that would be 2 months after the trial.
And now let's take a flaming detour straight into the heart of this Hollywood disaster. Animal Friends. Once pitched as Reynolds' next crown jewel, the project is spiraling into cinematic calamity. Fast.
Now here Friedman is quoted in TMZ. Let's look at what he said. Mr. Reynolds' exploitation of his enormous power in Hollywood continues, this time arrogantly asking to be dismissed from the case despite his publicly documented involvement extending far beyond just being a supportive spouse.
Insiders are whispering a darker truth. The film may never be released. Yes, really. Some sources claim Animal Friends is so riddled with problems that Warner Brothers is seriously considering pulling the plug. And where's Ryan in all this? Reportedly curled into a metaphorical fetal position, refusing to go on the record. It gets worse. Rumor has it the budget has exploded past $150 million. That's not just excessive, it's absurd. Especially for what was supposed to be a quirky road trip comedy. Compare that to Knives Out 2, which delivered prestige and profits on a fraction of the spend. This isn't just mismanagement, it's financial face-planting of the highest order.
Potentially, but yeah, it's hard to not see this as Daily Mail is also seeing it.
And why the budget implosion? Blame endless reshoots, frantic script rewrites, and a cast dynamic that could rival a reality show in dysfunction. Jason Momoa allegedly stormed off set after a blow-up with Aubrey Plaza. The rest of the cast? Tolerating each other like co-workers at a forced team-building retreat. Toxic doesn't even begin to cover it. One insider described the set as a slow-moving implosion. Another just muttered, "Pray for post-production."
No way I'm not liked. There's no way anyone wants to leave me. It is so obvious that some people must be plotting behind the scenes. Like Candace must be plotting with this person. They're crazy. They're just insane, okay?
Then there's Warner Brothers, still trying to sell the scheduling conflict excuse with a straight face. At this point, that line has less credibility than a kid claiming their goldfish ate the homework. Behind closed doors, execs are reportedly in full-blown panic mode. Because delays like this don't just happen. They're a signal. The studio's losing faith. And once a project earns the dreaded cursed label, it's a PR nightmare that even a Reynolds-level charm offensive can't spin the whispered backup plan. A quiet cancellation if things don't shape up soon. And Ryan, he's gone silent. No statements, no red carpet smiles, no ironic tweets. It's starting to feel like even he knows this could be the final nail in the coffin of his once untouchable reign.
Said yesterday on the show, 100% Ryan was the one who put this line in here. Not SNL, not Tina Fey, not Blake Lively, but Ryan.
Ah, Disney, the studio that gave us The Lion King, Frozen, and a trademark on Happily Ever After. But for Ryan Reynolds, the magic's worn off. Lately, it's feeling a lot less Moana, a lot more Maleficent. After Deadpool 3 reportedly spiraled into behind-the-scenes chaos, the House of Mouse seems to have finally lost its pixie-dusted patience. And the whispers leaking from Burbank? They're anything but enchanted.
I feel like we all deserve like PhDs in psychology by the end of this.
Let's start with the Deadpool 3 disaster. Reynolds allegedly inserted himself into every nook and cranny of production, rewriting dialogue, micromanaging casting, offering unsolicited notes on trailers, posters, and even merch. What Ryan calls dedicated, Disney executives reportedly labeled a full-blown nightmare. And in the world of Disney, where synergy is sacred and creative collaboration is as choreographed as a princess ball, one control freak star is like a bull in a billion-dollar china shop.
Blake is rebuilding her inner circle. She's doing it with a vengeful purpose.
Thought Pirates of the Caribbean was a money pit? Ryan might be giving Captain Jack a run for his doubloons, but here's the kicker. Disney's family-friendly brand. Sure, they let Deadpool crash the castle gates, but let's not pretend they aren't still in the business of talking animals, royalty trauma, and G-rated moral clarity. And now, they're stuck trying to sell a wisecracking anti-hero while his real-life wife is getting dragged through the legal mud.
Ryan Reynolds realizes he's too big to fail. He just crushes his enemies and drinks their blood.
Enter the Blake Lively scandal. A lawsuit so messy it's become tabloid gold and PR poison. According to insiders, Disney's PR team practically hit the panic button. You can almost hear the emergency meetings. How do we launch a billion-dollar R-rated franchise when the leading man's personal life is a walking headline?